Okay, hi. It's Kay in front of the camera again, or my hands, and Maggie behind.
Hello.
Okay, and it's going to be putting our die storage together. And this is the, I call it the tall one, but it's actually the large one. And this is for our new strip plate and new dies that are coming out, which unfortunately I sneaked, but I shouldn't have done. However, so these are for the longer dies that we have coming through. Okay, so I'm just basically, I'm going to tape it like the same as I would do an album. So I'm just going to go through do that. So I'll need to do the shorter side, which is the flat bit, on 3 sides, and one of the panels on 3 sides. So I shall just go and do that now. So what I tend to do is I peel back my tape. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. I find it easier to bring the cloth side of the tape towards me. Maggie does it the other way around, so it's basically what feels better for you. And when I've done that, when I finish wrestling with it, I fold that flat, and I'm going to put that halfway on there. And I want, it doesn't matter if it's slightly in, but I don't want it to go over this edge here. Okay, and then press that down, and then I pull the tape back. And then put this piece down halfway down the tape. So that should be about halfway on the tape, I'm hoping. It was halfway, that's it. Halfway on the tape. And just keep pulling that back. And now I know where to trim it. So this way you get 0 waste of your tape. So I'm going to use my scissors this time. I hung on to my knife. I'll show you why I use the knife in a minute because I find it easier. So you end up with that. Now, if you just slightly pinch your corners, you get that nice crease, so you can actually see where your corner is on each side. So do that. So you don't want to don't press it too much, otherwise they're going to stick to each other. But you just want to do it so you can just see the corner pressed there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and do it in front of the camera, but because I'm left-handed, I might find it. So what I'm going to do is cut from just by the corner, diagonally about 45 degrees, that side and that side, but I'm not cutting through to the corner, I'm just leaving a little bit of space. So I'm going to cut one.
Just going to zoom a bit, hold on.
So I'm going to cut one. Right, is that zoomed?
Yeah, perfect.
So I'll do that with a knife. So I'll cut that across there. You can do this with scissors or a knife. Actually, I prefer doing it with a knife, but if you've got a sharp knife. If you haven't got a sharp knife, then it's not going to help.
Move down.
Hold a second.
Right, that's it, that's perfect.
Right, okay. And that goes like that. So what you end up with is that, but it's still attached. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side.
Now, we always leave the corners attached because we've found that it actually covers your grey board or your MDF completely, doesn't it?
It does. You need to do it. The whole technique is the fact you keep this bit intact.
Some people snip those corners off, but you may find you end up with an exposed bit of grey board or MDF.
It's up to you. If you want to take these corners bits off, you can do. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay, I won't this time, but sometimes I do. But pull that back, okay, with your fingers. And then, this is the most awkward part to do, is that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift this up and put it down with a little bit of pressure so that it doesn't stick, it just sticks in the corner. So I just pull that down and push it down to stick. That's the reason why sometimes you trim it, because if you don't got a 45-degree angle, it's going to come up on your, like that. So that, right. But that's going to, that piece there is the piece that's going to show. This isn't going to show, right, so don't worry about it.
I'm going to zoom in because you see where Kay's got, go towards you a little bit, Kay. Right, you see where the corner of the actual corner of the MDF is. Because Kay's left that corner of the tape on and hasn't snipped it and pulled it over, there is nothing exposed, no raw edges at all.
But if you wanted to, sometimes I just nip it off here sometimes. So that, but obviously I've not done it at quite a 45-degree angle. So, but hey ho. You do have a little bit of give. So basically, same again. Pull that back. Don't mind the hand because it's easier. Okay, pull it back, and you're going to lift this up and bring it down with a little bit of tension. So you get that corner, and it's exactly the same you're doing for the MDF. Okay. So then I get my trusty tool.
What tool is that, Kay?
Oh, this will be our multi-purpose Teflon multi-purpose Teflon tool, Maggie.
Oh, what does it do?
It burnishes without shine. Okay, so I'll just lift that up, and
Can you go this way a little bit?
which is this way.
That's it. Sorry.
Okay. Right, so I'm going to lift that one up, and because I've got that little bit of tape there, I'm just going to make sure it's going to be well squidged in. So that's the side. Okay, so you can see you've got that neat corner there. So when you've covered this,
This way.
you're what? So when you've covered this, if I move myself this way, right, if I move myself that way, then we can see. Okay, so what you can do is a nice neat corner there. It doesn't matter about this because you're going to have a nice neat corner here as well. This bit is easier because you can lay this flat now. So exactly the same again. Pinch in and pinch in just so you can see you get a nice square bit there, and then try and do this at set 45 degrees.
Stop. We're out of... That's it.
45 degrees.
I know you're out of shot, Kay.
Well, where is in shot?
Come forward a bit more. No, that's too far.
Right, so I'm going to...
Forward a bit.
Yeah, but I can't see what I'm doing. So
Yes, I know. So I'm just trying to...
No, just leave it running.
Okay, right. So you need to be about here.
Okay,
Perfect.
right. So start again. So we've done this corner that you might have seen, you might not have done, but we'll attempt to see this one. So this one is going to cut here. I'm going to have to turn it around because I've started it.
That's it. We can see it.
And that cuts through that way. So you can use scissors to do this, and you're aiming at 45 degree if you can. Okay, and do exactly the same on the other side. I'm going to have to. It's easier to face it.
No, I can see, we can see that. It was just gone out of shot a bit before.
Right. Okay, and then goes back on itself. And then do exactly the same. This is easier because you can put this flat now. So pull with a little bit of tension. Again, I'm going to just lift that up before I stick it down properly. Move that across. Exactly the same on the other side. Move those down and move this. Just pull it with a little bit of tension. And then this time I'm going to just use my fingers. Over here. Oh, she's having a nervous breakdown behind the camera.
I am, yeah.
I'll live with it. Okay, now
You think?
Now you give it a good burnish.
Lovely.
Okay, and just give it a good burnish down. Sorry, a bit of flakes where I did gluing earlier. It's not me falling to pieces. Okay, and that's on 3 sides of that one, and we do exactly the same for this one. Bottom, and this particular kit, which is the large one, you do have lots of tape left over, so that's because Obviously our mass isn't up to much.
You use it for mag pops and all.
So you can, yes, you can use it. You might have enough for a tiny album, but you certainly can use it for mag pops, closures, and all sorts of things. So just trim that off, and it's important that it stays this side of the MDF and doesn't go over for the next part. So I'll just move that across and up. I'll give that a proper burnish in a sec.
Please clear it.
So just basically just put down these. My pieces. So I have one end piece, I have my middle pieces, and then I have the flap that goes over the top, so like that. So this is going to be 1/2 inch, so I'll get my 1/2 inch spacer, top and bottom. Oops, top and bottom, so I'll put those there. This is a 3/4 inch, okay, and I'll put those at the top, and I've got the 1 inch, so I'm just going to put the tape on, then I'll put them in the right place. I've also noticed that I've got a little bit here, so when I put my hinge spacer on, that's going to interfere with my spacing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to nip that off. That's easier said than done. There you go. So then I know my spacer is going to measure exactly. So you've got your wider space, and it goes across. Wider tape rather. Okay, so it goes double and a tiny bit of, you only need a little bit, so you need a little bit of overlap. So about 1 centimetre or so.
And it's important to measure, all 3 strips first, okay, to make sure.
You can do, yeah. We'll do that, shall we?
Just to make sure that, you know.
Just in case you haven't got enough.
If you're too generous with your. You should have enough, because we've made allowances for that, but just.
So you just need, so it goes double over and a little bit extra on top, like that. Okay, and we'll do it one more time. So you need 3, because you've got 3 seams. Was that the computer?
The computer.
Oh, it wasn't your tummy then?
No. Mine would be.
And that is perfect. And that's just as so you do need to measure first. So don't be over generous with your overlap. Okay, so we've got plenty to go around.
But you really don't want much overlap anyway, do you?
So, no, you don't need much overlap. So, right, so now you peel this back off. So
and this is Architape again, which is our professional bookbinding tape.
It is, but it is.
And the beauty of it is it's very strong and it won't tear.
Right, so you lay that out. Have you got all this in shot?
I haven't got all of it in shot, so
what haven't you got in shot?
I'm not going to have the hinge space a bit in shot, so keep going down.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to put that like that, and then the piece that you just put backing you've taken off, tear a piece of that out, and put that across like that. And then you can lay your hinge spacer. If you want to, this is the backing, it's got the backing on here. I tend to leave mine on actually, but if you want to take them off, it's entirely up to you. But that fits in like that. And then we can do exactly the same at the bottom.
They lock in, don't they, Kay?
Yeah, so you peel that back like that. And they just fit there exactly. Okay, so I've got that top and bottom. So what can't you see? You can't see one or the other.
I can't see one or the other, but if you
I'll
look,
bring one down, and the other one's doing exactly the same. So,
and then if you show me, I can see the top now, and then you can whiz it up for the bottom.
Okay, so and you just lay that flat. Okay, and obviously you'll probably do this on one surface, and then you've got that at the top.
Brilliant.
Okay, so squidge that down, and then take away your hinge spaces.
Is that a technical term? Squidge that down?
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Okay, so take
towards you before. That's it.
Okay, so you're taking off the backing, lift that up and pull that bit down. You want to make sure that this piece here is lower than this tape at the top. Okay, so you could give it can come down a bit more, but I've just done it like that and give it a bit of a squidge. And at the bottom, take this off. Okay, and then you're going to peel this piece off. It is very sticky, so be careful. And what I tend to do is I pull it up with a little bit of tension. Okay, so I'm going to pull it up, and squidge it down like that. And if I need to, because I don't want it to go over this piece here, I'm just going to trim that back a tiny bit. If I brought it down a bit further, then I probably wouldn't have needed to do that. So when you've actually got your magnetic sheet on and your covering papers, you won't see that. So just give that a good squidge. So give that a good burnish.
You want to have your joins on the same side, don't you, Kay?
Yes. So this is now my inside piece. So doing exactly the same for the next piece. Peel your tape off.
And will you need, with this one, Kay, because it's a wider hinge, will you need to put your tape less into the middle of your
slightly less, but in this case not too bad because I did it on that side, so I've got some spare. Right, so you lay that out again, like that. Okay, and again you want to put in about that much, so it's straight all the way down like that. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tear it off and I'm going to go a little bit more room at the top. So that it's going to be like that.
Perfect.
Alright. Okay, and then you put bits on here like that. And then this one is going to be 3/4 now. Okay, and exactly the same at the bottom. Like that. And then you're going to put this piece on. So, like, oops. So it just fits in at the top and at the bottom, like that. Bring that forward so you end up with that. Remove your hinge spacers. If you just lay your hinge spacers down, but without squidging them down, they won't stick too much. Okay, take your backing away, lift this up, and again with a little bit of tension and bring that down. And exactly the same again from the other side. So take the backing away, and then I'll just pull that with a little bit of tension, squidge that down. That overlaps. So I didn't have to trim that because I brought that down a little bit further this time. And again.
It's a very satisfying sound, isn't it?
Okay, so that'll do for the minute. So last. Okay, and then so we'll put that down. It's very sticky, just be careful. Right, so this one, because I'm going to use a 1-inch hinge spacer, I'm going to make sure that I've got plenty of room for it. So I haven't got too much space here. Let's stick that down. I haven't just about enough room over there. In fact, I might just lift that up. All right, yes. Give it a little bit more space. It's
Yeah,
easy.
it's very
It is very sticky. Okay. So move that down. So I'm going to put that across like that. And this is the 1 inch one. I'll put that there. I'll do the same at the bottom. So that's in like that, so that's your spaces there. So this is the foldy over bit. So make sure that's nice and so it's nice and squared up there. So that should be nice and squared up at the bottom, which it is. Take those out. Okay, and take backing off, and then again lift it up with a little bit of tension. And stick it down. Okay, a little bit of tension. I'm just going to peel that right off, and then give that a pull. And now, so I've got a slight pucker there. We'll just burnish it. I've got glue all over this, so burnish that. So now I'll just burn everything together. And then what I tend to do with the hinges, I just squidge them together like that. Burnish that side. Little burnish again. Put it together. Again for the side. Turn it over. That's it. A bit of fluff in there. Basically just burnish everything together. So I'm quite happy. And then you've got your bit that folds around like that. And then this is ready for the magnets. So in the kit for the large one, or tall one as I call it, you get 2 full sheets and a half sheet. So I've cut these all in half. So straight down the centre, diagonally down, right down the long side of these for our magnets. I tend to do it with the packaging on, so to take that off. And all you're going to do is peel this back, which is quite easy to come off. But again, this is extremely sticky as well.
They're extremely strong, aren't they? They're industrial strength.
Yeah,
magnetic
they are
sheets.
really strong magnets. So they're really strong. So push that down like that. So when you're happy with it straight along this piece.
Have you got MDF showing this then?
Yeah, so you've got that like that. Make sure you. So if you've got any danger of getting any MDF, like, you can't see it now, can you? I can't. Oh yeah, right. Okay, so what you're going to do is lift that up. Get Maggie's cheaty thing.
Oh, what are you doing there, Kay?
So just cheat. And just put a bit of tape.
Yeah.
And squidge it down. And
Who knew?
And nobody be none the wiser. Okay, and then do exactly the same for all these 3 inner ones. So I tend to do the inner ones where I've got the folds on this side.
Did you cut your sheets with a? What did you cut your sheets with?
I use a guillotine. I'm not. Can you? I assume you can use a trimmer.
I've used a paper trimmer.
Yeah, Maggie's used. She prefers. I prefer guillotine anyway. So.
Yeah.
That's my personal preference for cutting. We have arguments about this, and obviously.
No, we don't. I'm just right.
Yes, well. There's no right or wrong. If you prefer a guillotine, use a guillotine.
That's it.
If you don't prefer a guillotine, use a trimmer. That's it. As simple as. Okay, we peel this one back. And then I'll do the butterfly technique, so I don't peel all of it back. And where I've got this little tiny bit here, I might have a little bit. So I'm just going to cheat and just make that a bit
It's such
darker.
a good cheat, isn't it, Kay?
So I'll just do that, just in case. I might cover it, it might not, so I'll just pull that down like that. Okay, does that cover it?
Yeah, it's covered.
That's
Brilliant.
it. Okay, so that's your 3 sides there. And then you also get a half piece. So I've cut that into 2 strips of 40 millimetres across here, so that will fit on that side, and then the same again for the other side, so it closes it.
So that piece that you just holding there was just to illustrate the half piece.
No, I'm going to put it on the other side.
Oh, that's going on the other side. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
So
confusing everybody.
again, I've got these tiny little bits here, so I might just cheat and just put a little bit of black, just to make sure I don't get any MDF on those bits. Just peel this back. Okay, I'm doing this by eye, but we have got our alignment tool, so if you want to, you can use our alignment tools if you want, but I tend to use just by eye, and wrongly in this case. It's just, yeah, that's it. Okay, and then I'm going to put one on this side. Again, I've got those little tiny weeny bits there. So just put that like that. Okay, so what I tend to do now is, a good switch. Right, so now that, and that, and that. So I now know that's going to have paper on it, and that's going to have paper on it, but this one isn't. So this one's going to have the magnet on. So that's how I always do this. This is easier. So as you can see, I'm going to have a big gap there, and that's because I didn't put my tape on exactly halfway. So it was a bit, when I did it, went all the way around, it was a bit narrow on one side.
Oh, when you folded it over?
Yeah, when I folded it over, so that's the reason why that happens. So easily remedied. Okay, so just peel that.
There's an alignment tool.
So you can, if you want the alignment tool, you can use the alignment tool. So I don't think that one, you've got the wrong one, I think.
That's the only one that I had available, so.
I don't think so. Anyway, so if you want to, so you can line them all up.
And it locks it up.
Like that. So it locks in there, but I am going to use my arm because
you've been doing it by eye anyway. So
it's going to be equally wonky all the way through. Oops. So
won't be wonky.
Okay. And that's like that.
Perfect.
So that is your die. So you can put the strip down here as well. It's your spares bit, so it just folds flat. So what I tend to do is instead of using that like that, and then move that across, squidge that down, and that holds it in place, and that's in the right place then. So you've got extra magnet there if you want it. This closes nicely. You can put your paper over this piece, which is fine, and then and then that's your.
Can you do it triangle because you've got that extra bit of
You
magnet?
should be able to triangle it on this one, so you should be able to stand it up. Oh, it's not designed to do it. There you go. And you can have it as a triangle on your bench if you want to. So if you want to.
Perfect.
So if you want to, then you could have it that way or that way. Okay, so we've done the large die storage, and then the small one is exactly the same. So you put the tape on in exactly the same way, and you end up with that. Okay, however, the magnetic sheet is slightly different. So you get a cutting guide with the kit, and I've cut it accordingly. So what I've done there, I've got my 3 bits of magnetic tape, sorry, the magnetic sheet for the inside. So I'll put those out of the way for the minute. And this one you end up with a strip that length. Now you can either cut it in half or cut it in 3. Now I've cut it in 3 on here, but this one I've done before. I cut it in 2, so it just makes it a little bit longer along here. So the idea is, it doesn't work quite like the others. It works, so it's designed to sit on your work surface. So you have a piece of magnetic tape here and a piece here, and they just fit together, so it just stay put. Whoops, like so. So you can either have it like that or like that. So if I have one of our new banner dies.
Kay, what are they? Show us a bit more in detail. Turn it round the other way. turn it horizontal.
Horizontal?
Yeah, and then we
Okay.
can see it properly.
There we go. So if you've got smaller dies or bigger dies, you just have them like that, right? So this is our stitched never-ending banner die. There's also, as Maggie's
Pop them
behind
on
me.
long ways,
So-
and then turn your thing sideways.
So apparently I have to do this. You can do what you like.
Now,
Apparently
and
I
then
have to
turn
do
it.
this.
It's just so we can see it better
So-
in its glory,
I have to. Okay, so we got.
and then tip it that way.
Okay, and then I'll put one of the straight ones on as well. So, okay, so we've got a debossed, a pierced, and a stitched, and you have a plain one. And then you can, if you wanted to, just turn.
That's it. Stop there. Go back. Stop. Halfway. Tip it towards you a bit. No, the other way. Stop. Right, now you can see them in all their glory. That's what I was trying to do. So these are designed by Kay. There are never-ending banner dies, and you'll be seeing them very soon. And there's quite a lot in the set.
Right, okay, if you want to see sneaky. Peek.
Well, being as you showed them, it'd be rude not to tell people.
So anyway, so this is designed to do that. So there isn't a magnetic strip on one of these sides, but if you've got some spare left over from one of our other kits, then you're welcome to do that if you want to. So I'll just take those out of the way. Now Maggie's maybe doing my sneaky peek, and you just basically just put it on like that. So and then you've got more size to decorate. So as simple as that. So that is, or if you do 3 cuts on the strip, you can have one on that side, one on that side. So when you put them together, and you can have one on the back of this. So when it's back of this, like so, it fits like that, and then it will close it as well. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do that. But anyway, it is designed to be on your desktop.
Fabulous.